Hello. It's spring and I'm waiting for my laundry to dry. Uh, and I just feel kind of weird right now. Like I'm aware that the world is a strange place, and I feel all this creativity inside of me. I want to make art. I want to expand and I want to do cool things. And it just feels a little overwhelming and also exciting. When I was young, I was really paranoid. I was really scared of deceiving myself. And I was just watching a video about psychopathy and started to find myself getting all worried again of self-deception, worried about hurting myself, worried about people hurting me. And it's just a difficult headspace to be in, you know? And I think that being raised in an environment that was extremely abusive and toxic and scary did two things to me. The first thing it did is it made me psychic because I was always having to know the ulterior motives of all the people around me. It also, at the same time, made me very doubtful because being gaslighted over and over again for 20 years sort of programmed me to always disbelieve my intuition, which is ironic because I have a very strong intuition. And to be honest, it's still kind of a mystery to this day, my relationship between my intuition and my doubt. And I suppose this is what the reading is about, really, is just trying to understand that, when we lie to ourselves about something, we already have the truth. We're just hiding it from ourselves, probably for whatever reason, maybe to keep ourselves safe. It's in the middle of the night. I just heard my neighbor clear his throat, so I think I should close my window before I start. Alright, so I have 3 piles today. Pile 1 are these interesting bones right here. I don't really know what they are, but I'm relatively certain it's a joint. Pile 2 is this, I feel like it's like an owl hip thing or an owl rib cage. And then pile 3 is this interesting rib bone. I think it's a rib bone. I found this on the beach years ago. Alright. Okay, so this is pile 1 if you chose the mysterious joint. Here it is. This is your pile. I think I'm gonna start doing aesthetically pleasing ones where I light candles and have various herbs and stuff around. But that'll be for another day. Alright. I ask that all the guidance that comes through is easy to understand, the highest good, and pearls of healing for your heart and my heart. I ask that it comes through the black sun and the white sun, and it's the 5th dimension, unprotected by Archangel Michael and Christ. Shout out to Jesus today. It's Easter. Yes, he has risen. Oh my goodness. I feel like people who are watching this who are religious must be so confused right now. A tarot reader who supports Jesus. What? It's just a good day, it's a good day. Okay, alright, so we already have 2 cards flying out. Interesting. Are you deceiving yourself? Are you deceiving yourself, pile 1? Are you deceiving yourself? Are you deceiving yourself? If you are, how? Why? What is going on? Okay. Jesus. Okay. Okay. Let's see what's up. This is a dark energy, you guys. I had a vision of like a willow tree. I feel stuckness in my heart and my throat, in my mind. It's almost like a, it reminds me of an addiction, like a really intense addiction. I read this book a while ago called, fuck, what was it called? I don't know what it's called. It's interesting that the kind of books that you can read. I don't know what I'm saying. It was this book about this girl who was addicted to crack cocaine, and how like she just craves the drug, and it was really poetic. I read it when I was in high school, and how it was so intoxicating to her, and I could feel the darkness inside of her emotions. And I remember being in high school, and I don't know, just reading that book. When I was in high school, I was a little bit sheltered growing up, which is ironic because I went to kind of a preppy high school, but like I never did drugs until after I graduated, and people in my high school were doing coke because everybody there was kind of wealthy and could afford it. But I remember like when I was that age being really scared of crack and cocaine because it's like a really bad drug, and I would feel whenever I would think about people who would do coke. This is not to say that this is really what I now think, because I don't really know like what your social circle is, but at least for me, where I am in my life and the people that I know, for the better or the worse, and luckily I don't really hang out with people who do hard drugs right now, but hard drugs are not something that really phases me anymore. And I'm not shaming you if you've taken hard drugs, but what I'm trying to convey right now is this energy. The energy that I'm expressing is that there's this, when I would think about people doing hard drugs when I was a kid, which I probably should actually make videos about this because this might be really insightful, is that I would psychically and energetically feel more like the poison and yet the also sort of self-destructive medicine of those substances, and I would sort of perceive the kind of void that a person would have to have inside of themselves to engage with that substance. And with cocaine, I feel like there's like a couple kinds of ways that people use to engage with it. One of them is like this like illusion, sort of need to have fun, need to go fast, need to party, kind of. It feels glamorous, it feels like disco balls, and you do it, and it's really fast, and then you kind of slow down and life's boring again, sort of. And then there's this other void that is, the pain is so dark and great, and you want to stimulate yourself to explode out of it. And it's kind of like ingesting lightning, but you're doing it because you're so fucking dark. And this is kind of the energy I'm getting. I'm feeling this like dark void, and it's not who you are, it's just something inside of you that is so neglected, a shadow part of you that is so neglected and abandoned and scared that it's like you don't want to face it. You just want to set it on fire. But it's weird because it's like the more that you try to set it on fire, it's almost like you're burning up gasoline, and you're burning up gasoline in the basement. And the more that you burn up gasoline in the basement, you actually just kind of like, it's almost like dynamite. It just makes the basement bigger. You're not actually like healing yourself. You're perpetuating a sickness, and that's how or why you're deceiving yourself. Because whatever you think you're doing, and whatever just came to mind is what I'm talking about, I guess. Whatever you think you're doing to alleviate this pain is actually making it worse. And you need to stop. Like, I'm not really sure what's going on and who I'm tuning into I mean, obviously, right? Like, I don't know who you are, like, unless you know me in my life. But anyway, I'm glad you're tuning in. Um, but whatever this is, like, this is kind of serious. Like, if you continue going the way that you're going, it could be potentially life threatening. So please stop. Wow, I've never had to say that before psychically in a reading. It's really intense. Like, your angels and guides are really stressed out, and I feel like you might have even found my YouTube channel through my art or through something else, and might not even be necessarily into psychic readings, but might have just clicked on this out of like sheer luck or just intrigue, and I just get the sense that like some of you guys might not even be super interested, in spirituality and stuff. And if this is like, if you're in a really dire place and you're looking for God and for connection and for support, like I'm just feeling like this desperation. It's like spirit is really urging you to not hurt yourself and to not self-destruct, and and that like you can get through this and that you can make it out of this, and that there's so many angels and high beings trying to protect you from hurting yourself. And yeah, so that's really intense, and I'm glad that you're here tuning in. And I'm really surprised that I'm being guided to do this because I have never done this before, but I'm actually going to attempt to do some magic for your situation because I'm a magician. I know how to do that, and I'm going to use my abilities because I feel like I'm being guided to do that for whatever reason. So I ask for my part of me that knows how to do this to come forward and to help me out with this because, yeah, I feel like that's what I'm supposed to do. I'm going to start burning Palo Santo, and the magic that's going to come through, please be the highest good for all involved. Please be balanced between the black and the white side, and please be protected, and my highest integrity for this moment in time. Thank you. So I don't entirely know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to do this until the severity that I'm feeling dissipates. And I'm going to do this kind of magic in a way that is unobtrusive and palatable to those who might fear magic. Okay. I'm gonna sing a Beatles song. Oh wait, hold on. Sorry, 1 second. Alright, so first of all, I ask that when you see the smoke, you feel the angels around you. May you feel them in your life. May you feel them around you. And I invite you, and I also invite the angels, if it's in the highest good, to perform any divine intervention, to assist you, any signs and messages to assist you in removing yourself from any suffering that you're experiencing right now. And so it is. I feel guided to sing a Beatles song, so I'm going to do that. I hope that I remember the chords. Is this the right one? God. No. Up a couple. Okay. When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And when the broken hearted people living in the world agree. There will be an answer. Let it be. 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 Speaking words of wisdom. Let it be. Okay, I should sing the whole song for you, so I'm gonna pull up lyrics. This is so funny, I've never done this before. Let it be lyrics. Okay, you guys ready? I hope you're ready, because this is interesting. I'm very surprised that this is what I'm being guided to do. Okay. Here we go. Made this energy change, okay? When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. And when the broken hearted people living in the world agree, there will be an answer, let it be. For though they may be parted, there's still a chance that they will see. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. And when the night is cloudy, there's still a light that shines on me, shining till tomorrow, let it be. I wake up to the sounds of music, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. Okay, cool. Thanks for indulging in music with me. And I'm beginning to feel things changing. I'm gonna keep bringing the Palo Santo. So now what I'm realizing is that your self-deception is also rooted in self-hatred, because I was noticing that as I was singing, I could feel that, people here might really be on an edge. Like, it reminded me of the energy that I've been at in the past when I've called the suicide hotline, and I've just felt really desperate because I've just really, really, really wanted things to change, but, I didn't know how they were going to change, and I just needed something to change, and I was like, how is this gonna happen? Like, it's not like I really wanted to die or hurt myself or kill myself. It's just that I felt so incredibly desperate in where I was at. And I felt like the pressure was like so much that I didn't even know like what to do. I didn't know how to handle it. And now that I'm feeling that in you, we're going to go there. We're going to see how we can change this and alleviate this. We're getting some good messages with the Ace of Pentacles. Like, things are going to change. You're doing good. Like, the little bit of hope that you feel with yourself, like, that is in and of itself like a good thing. And rely on that hope right now. As you leave an addiction, as you leave a dark pattern, as you leave whatever it is that you need to leave, as you leave the self-destructiveness, like, I know that for me, like, I have never really been addicted to a drug before, but I have been really codependent, and codependency was a sort of emotional, psychological addiction to pain that I used to grapple with. And I know that when I was going through that, and when I was really having to not indulge in my demons, sometimes this mechanism would happen where I felt like the sanctity of my soul, and I felt the purity of my spirit, and at the same time, purity of my spirit, I also felt the part of me that wanted to destroy that, and I had to kind of sit with that part of me and not let it destroy me, and trust my spirit more than my demons. And sometimes it involved not and consciously choosing not to indulge in any dark thing, which for me was thinking and emoting and relating. I had to consciously choose to not do things that I knew intellectually were bad for me, but that I felt so desperate and I felt so horrible that I just really wanted to do those bad things because they made me feel better in the moment, even though deep down I knew that they were actually going to fuck me up. And I feel like it's important to say that, there's this, I mean, we all know about the vampire myth, right? And how when vampires look at the sun, they like die, and it's like that. It's like, and just hear me out. Just hear me out. It's like when you start to feel the light of your being, that lightness of your being, you sometimes in transmuting addiction or healing addiction or letting go of your pain, that light almost kind of hurts for a little bit. And then there's this expansive shame. There's this feeling of shame. Like, I know for me, like, when I would be in like a negative self-destructive cycle of thinking or feeling with my emotions, and that would feel more real to me than anything else. I'd be like, yeah, my life's fucked, I'm fucked, it's stupid, all of it's fucking stupid, and I hate it, and I hate myself. And that whole negative thought process felt more real and true than, oh, actually, I'm okay, my life's okay, I'm a good person, And it's because the pain and the trauma was so great that I felt more comfortable staying in it. And then when I would start to feel an inkling of neutrality, or an inkling of my soul, or an inkling of good vibes of me, that would immediately start to feel like a calm after the storm. And then my body would settle down and the tears would kind of come out, and it would sort of water that fire off of me. And then I would feel this like, where was I? But it was so new and so stark that I knew at any point the monsters could come back and they could give in. And I feel like that's where we are now with you. It's like, if you're able, like when you release that initial darkness and that self-deception of needing that drug or that addiction or that negative pattern, then all of a sudden you start to, release that, and then you start to feel your soul. And then you're like, oh my God, that was so weird. Where was I? And then I heard like it's ground zero all over again. And then you have this choice of like, okay, am I gonna start fresh, or am I gonna go back to what I know, which is actually really bad for me? I really am proud of you for like choosing to receive this and choosing to heal, and for clicking on this reading. I'm going to put some resources in the Um, and I know some of you are like, I don't need that. Okay, you don't have to take them, but I'm gonna put some resources in the description box and probably on the screen too if you need to call a hotline or anything. But just you can stay here too. Like you can stay here as long as you want. Like I'm here for you. God's here for you. You know, you're infinitely protected. And a really good therapist of mine once said, like, you were never alone. Like God's always with you, and you don't have to believe in like a religious God. It's just spirit, the universe. And if you're really intellectual, like if this reading resonates with you, let that be a sign that like there is a force working through me that is helping you tap into yourself. Like, you guys, I really don't know what I'm saying. Like, I'm a human being with my own thoughts and feelings and worlds and emotions. And when I do these readings, I do this because I love it, and I also do it because it makes me feel purposeful, and I also do it because it comes very naturally to me. But when I do it, like I'm not thinking about what I'm saying. What I'm saying is just coming through me. I don't have attachment to what I'm saying. You know, it's just literally magic. And if this resonates with you, let that be a sign that, you know, there's a higher force pulling me and pulling you that has our greatest and highest good in mind, because it is life itself, and that life that created me and that created you and that is in and of itself life and alive, that intelligence that is the woods and the forest, that higher order of things, you know, that higher order, that beauty, really. It is life that wants to continue to live and to evolve and to move forward and to expand and to give and give and give and give and be and experience. And it's life and its existence. It's the universe. And to tap into that is to tap into the part of you that also wants to give and give and give and expand and expand and expand. I felt choking. There's a part of you that is in denial or is scared of this. And the mind is sometimes heavy with you know, fears and, you know, not fully knowing how to articulate things and how to understand things and how to give yourself over to God. Like, I just got death upside down and 5 of cups upside down. Like, my stomach, I gotta light more of this fire. It's like there's so much. Like, don't give up on yourself, you know. And like, part of that actually, part of the not giving up on yourself, actually involves allowing yourself to let go of things that don't serve you. Part of the not giving up on yourself is allowing yourself to cry. Part of this not giving up on yourself is allowing yourself to face whatever you've been avoiding through indulging in an addiction, whether it's a substance, a person, a place, a thing, or something. Because in great darkness is the potential for great light. And if you use this experience to glean wisdom, to glean truth, and to know that, you know, it's gotten so bad, it's gotten so freaking bad that it can't really get any worse. And if that's true, like, know that, you know, the fact that you're here and the fact that you want to know this is a sign of hope and healing. And I have to tell you that this is a really good card. The Knight of Cups is a really good card. It's the card of success. And we also have the Sun upside down, which is the card of like really good healing. When it's upside down, it just means that like things are going to come in time. It's not really happening yet, but it's a positive omen. Like, know that this is your turning point. This is your turning point from like great levels of pain. You don't have to stay here in the darker, and the uncomfortable and unencumbered versions of death. Like, you don't have to live in your self-destructiveness. It might be really, really, really uncomfortable and hard and difficult to face whatever you need to face. And it might feel more comfortable to stay in the sickness or the dark patterns that you're in. But please don't do that. Please stop. Please get help. Detox. Go to rehab if you have to, you know. Um, you're not insane. You're not crazy. You're also not doing anything wrong. You don't need to pathologize yourself. I feel like there's this feeling of I can't stomach this. Like, I don't know, maybe some of you, I just grew up on the streets or had like a really difficult childhood, or I'm even getting the sense that like some of you don't want to talk about it. You don't want to dwell on it. That's what you say. You don't want to dwell on it. Because the pain is just so great that it's kind of like just this like almost feels like you get lost in it. It's like this island, and it just eats you alive. You just lose yourself in it. It's not about like, and I feel like some of you might get mad and you're like, no, like you're asking me to drown in my pain. Like I can't do that. I mean, if you're here, yes, you can, and you won't drown. You will go through it. You'll get to the other side. It's not an ocean. It's actually a doorway. Because when you realize that you're in pain in this basement, it's not an ocean. You're in a basement, and you got to walk up the stairs. And that is the effort that you need to get out of the addiction, which I'm feeling will happen through not indulging. The pain, the emotional pain that might even be tied up in the withdrawals, will dissipate as you continue to detox your body, if it's a chemical that you're addicted to. Also getting this feeling like some of you watching this could be like homeless or could be in really dire circumstances, or in a place that is just not a good place to be, or maybe just impoverished, or maybe mentally impoverished. You don't believe that you deserve enough. Regardless of any of that, Spirit saying like there are substance abuse recovery groups, there are rehabs that will house you and help you get off the streets if you're homeless or if there's something that you need to do. Like there's government assisted programs, and it's getting more specific. Like if you're like in New Mexico, there's like one there for you. Go to your local like queer community support group or community outreach center. There will be like somebody who can help you. I mean, even like seeing people like a woman, I think she's like Filipino or Asian, and she has like hair that like looks like this, and it's a ponytail, and she wears it at the back of her head, and she's like kind of short and really optimistic, and like will help you. And if you're like in a rural place, like the local church is a really good spot. Like I'm seeing like a white church, and there's like a dirt road, and it's in like Texas, or just like a rural place, and there's like people can stay at the church. Sometimes they have like a place for people to stay, and the church has like a connection to like a facility that can help you like wean yourself off of like drugs. So, and if you're in New York, there's like a lot of community outreach centers, and just stay away from people who yell at you or make you uncomfortable. A lot of you might be highly sensitive people in pain, like indigo souls, like really sensitive, loving souls that just got really lost because the darkness that you were around was really great. It was almost like a war zone, and then all of a sudden, like just you started to lose touch with your light. But this is an invitation for you to regain touch with your light. Hold on 1 second. Okay, I'm gonna light this candle for you as a prayer. May you always remember your light. Always. Whew. Okay, let's see if there's anything else that we have for you. Good, things are changing. Now I'm seeing like tulips and roses and fields. See, you're a very pure, loving person. And now we're going to talk about this light that I'm seeing so that you can remember that and be in touch with it. So, your mind, like, you could have a lot of negative self talk and could believe that, like, you're not worthy of love or that you're not allowed to experience love. So don't listen to that right now. Just don't listen to that. Listen to other things. Right now, give yourself permission to tune into the beauty inside of you. And I'm just going to tell you what I'm perceiving and feeling and seeing. Because this is what you need to believe. You need to ground in. You need to vibe with this part of you more than anything else. And I know that like some of you might be really scared of doing that because like you're really sensitive and you feel like if you trust this part of you more than anything else or allow yourself to feel this way that you'll get hurt. But sensitivity is the new strength, and you can when you allow yourself to know how pure you are, that will help you reach a state of safety and also purity. And I mean this like not in a state of like it's gonna save you or get you where you need to go. I mean this like you're gonna realize how much pain you're in because of how pure you are and how you'll like be more sensitive to your surroundings, and that's going to be so difficult for you to be this pure and sensitive in these dire circumstances that you're going to develop the willpower and also the desperation and the vulnerability really to ask for help. You need to ask for help. You need to ask for help. Okay? So, your soul is this beautiful, beautiful field, and it feels like flowers and freedom and rain. And it's this beautiful openness and acknowledgement of grace. I feel like grace is a really good word. There's this feeling of deep beauty, like how when you wake up in the morning and you watch the sunrise over a beautiful field and you smell the morning dew, and it's so nourishing and peaceful and calm. Very optimistic. Your soul is very optimistic and wants to continue to love life and to know life and to engage in the beauty of life. And there's a deep sense of reverence and wonder, and it feels like apricots and amber and effervescence and sparkles and joy. There's just this like sweet softness of knowing that there's a deep joy that abounds, that continues to unfold and to grow and to love no matter what. And this joy is resilient and it's graceful and it's peaceful, and it smiles in the sun, and it knows how to uplift people. You're a very uplifting soul, very uplifting person. And that's why you've chosen this reading. That's why you've clicked on this video, because no matter where you're at, like there's always a part of you that like wants to grow and that is very strong and that is full of strength and generosity of light. And there's a resilience to you, and that's how you've been able to get through everything. Is that you're very resilient. You're like a bad bitch, you know? You're like a total badass and very, very, very what's the word? Considerate of people around you, and like perceptive and protective, calm, and like caring about your community and wanting to be there for people, wanting to support people. And that's really respectable. Yeah, you've gone through a lot. It feels like you've gone through a lot. And it's just important for you to know that, like, if you give yourself more, if you give yourself a stage, if you give yourself the opportunity to know that you deserve so much, you're like, you deserve everything good, you know? There's nothing that is too good for you. You deserve infinite goodness. Like, and there's no resentment there either. Like, it's okay. You don't have to do anything to receive it, you just are. And right now it might feel like you have to work really hard to receive it, because maybe you do. But, like, your worth as a human is innate, and you will get through it. You need to ask for help, you need to find resources, you need to find support. And there's support just around the corner. When you look for it, it will find you. And it will get you exactly where you need to be. Okay? And doing this, getting the support, will help you so much that you'll be able to make a really, really big change in the world. A really big change. Like, I feel like some of you are really going to be activists or like public speakers, inspirational speakers, and motivational speakers, life coaches, and or just community members who support people. I just got the card Judgment, and this is a really interesting card because this is a card of, like, needing to change and knowing that there's a really beautiful, positive change that's going to come your way. If any of you have pets, like, allow yourself to really care for them and be cared for by them. Really stay in this place, okay? I'm feeling your energy change, feeling your heart open, and just know that, like, you're so worthy of love and of abundance and of peace. There's a lot that you have to offer the world and to give the world. And by going through everything that you've gone through, and by still being here, and by still choosing to wake up and greet the sun every day, you are doing a great service to humanity and to yourself. And you are doing what God wants you to do, what Spirit made you to do. You came here to be love, and thank you for being love. Your life is so deeply precious and sacred, and your soul is so pure. And the demons of your mind are still trying to hurt you. So I ask Archangel Michael to clear any darkness in your mind, and to bind and escort any negative entities and thought forms and dark clouds over your head away. And your soul is obviously not just a small light, it's a very, very big light that can heal anything, can transform anything. And if you allow yourself to walk in the path of transformation, then you'll be okay. I'm getting this sense that there's this feeling of, oh my God, so many people are slipping away. Like, there's so much darkness in the world. There's so much evil in the world. There's so much destruction in the world. Some of you could have been in wars or war zones or just heavy, heavy places. And there's this overwhelming sense of pain there. It's like, is it even worth it? Is the fight worth it? And the answer is yes. Yes. This could even be a karmic thing, a past life thing, like choking again. It's hard to talk about. Like, there's a repression here. There might be past lives where you were deeply hurt as well and attacked, where your soul was treated disrespectfully. You might be working through a lot of karma in this life, repeating those patterns of darkness and destruction, but know that the darkness and the destruction that you go through is not you. It's not who you are. It's the alchemy that you chose to change into light and to get your wisdom from. And that you are getting very wise from this experience. Just knowing that the negativity in your brain, in your mind, anything that's hurting you and telling you that you're not worthy of love, or if you're suicidal and you feel like you need to like hurt yourself or kill yourself, like don't do that. There's so much innocence for you to experience and to explore with yourself. There's so much life for you to engage with yourself, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's so much love for you to indulge in and to receive in the world. And anything that anyone told you about yourself, or anything that anyone said that you're wrong to do or to be or for, those people can go fuck themselves, and they can go on their own journeys and figure out for themselves what they need to do to heal. Because anybody to make you feel bad about your innocence and your innate love, your innate desire to love and to be loved, your innate desire to be yourself, anyone who made you feel wrong about that is wrong. And we're not just here to shame people. Those people can do their own shadow work and discover their own beauty and their own truth too, because those people are just scared of who they are. And it's unfortunate that we live in a world where people are so scared of who they are, but you are so beyond all of that. Please bring this beauty and this authenticity that you have to the world. Bring this beauty and authenticity that you have to everywhere you go, everyone you meet. You're worthy of that. You're worthy of giving people your light. You're worthy of giving people your wisdom. You have a lot of wisdom to carry. You have a lot of optimism in yourself. I feel like you're the kind of person that can uplift an entire room of people, that can make everyone feel like they can do it, like they're special, like they're worthy, like they know who they are, because on a deep level, you know who you are, and you're strong and tenacious, and you got through it, you're getting through it, and you will continue to get through it. And so it is. So mote it be. Alright, I blew this candle out. I don't want to do that. I'm actually going to put this candle on my altar. Although some of you don't like altars, so I'm going to keep this candle burning for you, and I'm just going to leave it on my table and have it just burn as a prayer for you. And I ask that in the days coming and the weeks coming, that you feel this prayer with you, and that you feel this reading, that this reading reverberates into your life and continues to be a source of healing and protection for you. And so it is. It's really interesting that candle fell and it's still okay. There we go. Here it is. All right. Wow, that was really intense. Now we're at pile 2. Hello, pile 2. Welcome to your reading. This is if you chose this crazy little guy, this motherfucker. I feel like this is the hips of an owl. Okay. I ask that the messages are clear and concise. I ask that they're in the highest good for all involved. I ask that they bring forward light and clarity and awareness of who you are at your deepest levels of your being. I ask that they are balanced through the black and white sun, that they're in the hearts, and that they are loving, and that they help you know your truth. You know? All right, pile 2. How are you deceiving yourself? Are you deceiving yourself? Let's see what we got going on. Let us see. I'm already starting to feel some stuff. My crown chakra is just like, feels really weird. It kind of feels like you got some like, this is gonna sound bizarre, you guys, mental parasites. Like I feel like there's just some, what is going on? It's like, I feel like you're like making excuses. Like you have like an entire sort of like schema of thoughts that sort of like make excuses and validate your actions. Like it's like you're functioning from like a whole different kind of logic that isn't actually logic, but it's like your logic that allows you to do things that you either want to do or don't want to do, or maybe both. You're definitely deceiving yourself. Welcome to your reading. But this is not as serious as other readings that I've done. Because for you, it's not like a self-destructive thing. It's more like a, oh, Jesus, like, oh man, like you're just, like, what I think of is like somebody who like, I don't know why we're going to sex, but it's like somebody who like watches a lot of porn and they're like, I just do this because I deserve to be empowered and like joyful and like I really want to be empowered, and like watching porn is like really empowering for me because like I'm a woman and like women weren't allowed to watch porn or sexualize people, but like deep down there's like this like feeling of like, it feels like it could be like an addiction or something. It's like I ate chocolate because I had a bad day, but like it's fine because like chocolate's actually really healthy, and like there's all this like reasons behind like the logic that you have behind making your decisions or doing your things, and it doesn't. I'm not saying it doesn't make sense because like it does, but it's like all the reasoning behind your actions is sort of, and I hear people go like, well no, it is like that, it's like, it's like okay, like it's like that, but it's like all the reasons behind it, like you don't need to have all these like thought process behind it. It's a thought process hiding a core truth about yourself that you don't want to own up to. Another example I'm getting is like someone who's like gay, and they're like gay, but they're like married to like a gender that a person that they're not attracted to, and they're like having like lots of gay sex, and they're like, I'm just doing this because it's fun. And this is the last time I'm doing it. I'm doing it because it's like something that I like have this weird fetish about. It's just a weird fetish. It's nothing big. It's just like a weird fetish, and like my wife wouldn't get it. It's just a weird fetish, but like you're not like, okay, sure, it's a weird fetish, but like the truth is that you're just actually gay, and like you know, like you don't have to create all these stories about why you're doing something. There's a core truth behind why you're doing it, and like that is what we're trying to look at here. And there's actually like a certain level of pain that is kind of happening from this denial of whatever major self-truth you have, because shame isn't fully allowing you to experience this thing that you want to experience. So you're experiencing it in secretive ways, perhaps to yourself or others, and that's actually making you feel kind of dejected in your life. He's not very happy, you know? He's like, ugh. And then underneath that, we got the Fool upside down, which is like, you can choose to expand. You can choose to be honest. Be the fool. Open yourself. But it's upside down, meaning you might not be doing that. You might be kind of going off a tangent here because you're engaging in things that you need to make a lot of excuses for to engage with them. And I don't know, it's not really clear whether these things are bad or good, objectively speaking. Obviously, don't do fucked up illegal things. I don't know if you're doing those things. I don't know if you're that kind of darkness, but because I think if you were, I'd be saying a lot of other things. This doesn't feel sinister. This feels more like, LOL. You're telling yourself you are doing this. You're actually doing this. Like, just admit it. Just admit it. You're eating candy at midnight, kind of vibe. Like, okay, you're on a diet, but it might be different from what you think it is. This is so funny. I'm also hearing something you might be like, fuck boys or fuck girls. Why are you doing that? Like, be real about that. You know, be honest about what you're really trying to get from all these people that you're engaging with. Or maybe it's the vibes of like needing to get ahead at work, but it could really just be like a self-worth thing. Like, you don't feel like you're being respected and you need to get respect, but it's also like, it's just a total ego trip and I'm feeling sleepy. It's like this, oh. It's relieving to hear me say all this, and it's also kind of like, this could exhaust you. Like, having to do this with yourself could exhaust you. Anything else? My nose is getting stuffed up too, which means that your heart's opening. Because there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with who you are. There's nothing wrong with what you need, what you want, what you like, what you don't like. Just, I don't know, don't live a lie, you know? With the card the Moon, this is just a sign that, like, you know what you need to do. This is your confirmation. You know what you need to do. It might change your life. It might uplift your life. It might make your life more complicated, or you might have to let go of some loose ends. This doesn't feel serious. It doesn't feel like a big deal. It's just this, like, yeah, you know, for whatever reason, you actually are deceiving yourself. It's what you're telling yourself about why you're doing things. You're doing things for a different reason than what you think. And you're going to know what that reason is when you listen to your heart. And then once you listen to your heart, you're going to be able to quickly make the necessary changes that you need to make to really tune into your heart. Really tap into what you need to tap into. And to do what you got to do. I don't know why I feel like saying this, but when I was younger and I would give people psychic readings, I would always get kind of like, I told them that what they have to do now, like, why aren't they doing it yet? And it's like, because these things take time. Like, people, there's a certain thing about getting psychic information that it's like a download. It's like an entire, like, world of vibe that you need to kind of integrate, you know, and figure out if it feels right, and then when it's the right time, then the changes happen, you know. So this is also like a be patient with yourself kind of thing. Like, be patient, journal, and yet also, like, when you know, and when you know, like, you got to take the necessary action. And for some of you, this might not just be about like one thing. It might be about like 5 things or a couple things, or like inventory on yourself, you know, or affecting a lot of different realms of relationship and life. And you'll know when another situation or thing pops up and you're like, oh, I gotta be honest with myself about this too, and this too, and this too, and, you know, yeah. Any other things that you need to know? I don't know. Like, give me a different card. You're gonna see my crazy witchy, the High Priestess card. Got the High Priestess, has some ashes on it, and we got the Star. So just, yeah, listen to your intuition. It's all gonna work out. There's nothing wrong with whatever it is that you're doing. Just you know, if it's about your sexuality, um, there's nothing wrong with that. Just know that, like, what you're doing, you don't have to make excuses for it. Just be your authentic self and be exactly who you are. Obviously, don't hurt anyone, don't do anything illegal, don't do anything fucked up. But as long as you're not, like, murdering anyone or hurting kids, um, like, there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with who you are. There's nothing wrong with your identity. Yeah, I'm trying to see. No, that's it. That's it. Thank you. Thank you, Pile 2. Um, I wish you well. Oh, wait. Actually, there's more. You need to let go of any toxicity in regards to your sacral chakra, in regards to people, their perceptions of your sexuality. I guess this is an internalized homophobia reading or something. Interesting. Jesus Christ. Maybe some of you were raised in like a strictly religious household or something like that, but or maybe you have religious ideas about yourself. Just letting go of every last bit of the part of you that really wants to shove that away and put yourself in a box. Don't do that anymore. Don't do that. It's not time for that. Don't pathologize yourself or demonize who you are. And don't make excuses either. Enjoy your authentic truth. And there seems to be a really big, like, morality question here. Well, like, what if it is objectively wrong? What if it is objectively fucked up? And it seems like the mind really doesn't, on a deep level, doesn't really know whether it is or whether it isn't. That is interesting because that just comes from, like, fear and doubt and self-hatred. Whenever you start to go into fear or doubt or self-hatred, that's when you know that you're not thinking clearly. That's when you know you need to stop. And you need to really just not think about the ethics or the morality of it, just think about the fear. Because you have, like, a good heart, and your soul is in the right place, and your soul is, like, in a state of life where you're not intentionally or unintentionally trying to hurt people. Like, you're not a psychopath, you know, you're not a murderer, you're not a child molester, you're like a regular person doing exactly what you gotta do. And, like, because of that, you would know if what you were doing was wrong. And releasing the doubt in the mind is important because you gotta just stop indulging in it. The moment you start to feel that fear, that's when you gotta say, okay, my thoughts are hurting me, and I'm gonna just put a pin in it. I'm gonna period. I'm gonna let it go. That's what I got for you. Thank you, Pile 2, for tuning in. Alright, Pile 3. Here we go. You are this interesting seal rib? Question mark. I got this at the beach years and years ago. Oh no. Oh no. I'm so sorry to, like, be doing this on camera. I'm, like, sniffing a bone. It has mold in it, you guys. It has mildew in it. That makes me really sad. I love this bone. I'm gonna stick this bone in a vat of vinegar after this video. This is not mold. This is actually magical oil that I just took off. Kind of. But, oh my gosh. I gotta clean this bone up. Alright, Pile 3. Are you deceiving yourself? Let's see. Let's see if you're deceiving yourself. I think that your sense of self-deception... Actually, hold on. Not all those who wander are lost. Getting like major horse girl vibes. Like, just the forest and the purity, and I feel like you really know who you are, and I feel like you like fantasy, like exploring, like going into the forest, like running around with your hair in the wind. Also feeling kind of embarrassed that you're not like quote unquote normal. I think for you, what's really happening here is that there's something about perfectionism that might be what's going on. Like imposter syndrome. I feel like for you, the question that you're actually asking yourself clicking on this video might be like not really about whether you're deceiving yourself. It's like, am I actually good enough? Like, I feel like there's this vibe of like, am I deceiving myself that I'm worthy? Am I deceiving myself that I'm good enough? Am I deceiving myself? Am I underestimating myself? Am I overestimating myself? Do I have what it takes? And it just really seems like the answer is like yes, and also all this stuff comes into mind. Like, you don't need to prove yourself. There's really no ego going on here. Meaning, like, the thing that is deceiving you is the thing that the part of you that is deceiving yourself is the part of you that thinks that you're not good enough. The part of you that's deceiving yourself is the part of you that thinks that you have to one up. The part of you that's deceiving yourself is the part of you that's wondering if you really got what it takes. That is what's deceiving you. And also, like, another layer of it is that, like, there's this like deep self-ambition. You know, this need to like do it. But then at the same time, there's like a judgment of that. And it's like a depression. Like, if you're a woman and you're just like a total wild, I like to run with the wind in my hair kind of gal, or the vibe of feeling that way. There's also this vibe of like, I'm a really powerful woman and like men don't like me for that, or they don't know how to handle me, or like feeling like a tomboy and then feeling kind of like down on yourself because you're not what men quote unquote want, you know. And that also might be a way that you're deceiving yourself, because men do want you. You also don't have to fight them or prove yourself to them or be too girly for them. If anyone told you that, you don't have to do that. This is really just an invitation for you to be more at peace with the way that you move through the world and who you are. I'm seeing the movie. Gosh, what is it called? Okay, I can't remember it, so I guess it's not the right time, but it's just like that beauty of like being so connected to nature and being raised in a way that's different and maybe not always easy, but beautiful to you. And having grown up, maybe in a difficult way at times, and it being a little bit isolating, but also, even though it was painful, it taught you like the secrets of the universe. And that is what you've taken with you into your adulthood and has given you a unique perception and perspective of nature that will sort of help you moving forward. I think that because you were isolated growing up, there could be some judgment that you have partially towards yourself or other people, and that is something that also that kind of blinds you from like ways of the world that could help you. You don't need to become modern or become like the world, and just develop love and acceptance for yourself for being different from the world. You don't have to be like everyone else. But like letting go of that rigidity, which could even come from social anxiety or being neuroatypical, or just being really sheltered, but like letting go of that rigid nature to know exactly what it is and what's right and wrong, and to have so many opinions about that. Like you can let that go. You're safe with the wind blowing in your hair and the sanctity of who you are, and also like just not having to always like know what's right and wrong too. There's this pressure to always be good, or always be in the light, or always be aware, always be clear. And there's so much like childish joy in everything that you love, not in a judgmental way, but like in an innocence. Like there's very deep innocence here. And there's also like sometimes there's a sense of like, I don't know how to relate to others. I don't even know how to relate to them. Like I don't know how to be myself sometimes, and I don't really know the norms of society or of the world. And that's okay too, like you don't have to. But when you pathologize that or make that wrong, or kind of stay stuck in any religious frameworks or any negative patterning that you were taught, that's when you deceive yourself, because a lot of those rigid belief systems are actually like a total lie, and a very big illusion that could keep you from joy, experiencing more joy with yourself. But once you start to shed that in your subconscious mind, then you are able to be a lot more free, and might feel less of a need to fight people, because I feel like that need to fight people also comes from feeling inferior and feeling vulnerable, and also feeling like you don't know how to connect because you feel so insecure. And you can change all of this because your soul's very pure, your soul's very strong, and you got it. You got the ability to do that. So, I know that like doing that might make you uncomfortable at first, might change things in ways that are really intense, but ultimately like it'll serve you in your highest purpose, and you're gonna be okay. So there you go. Pile 3. That was your reading. Have a wonderful night, day, morning, wherever you are. And I wish you well. Good night.